Hello viewers, this is the second video on Mirror, a poem by Sylvia Plath. Today I am going to give you the critical appreciation of the poem Mirror. Let us straight away get to the business. In the first place, we need to remember that the poem is divided into two stanzas. In the first stanza, we have the mirror speaking. The mirror is the speaker. And in the second stanza, the mirror acts as a kind of a lake, or it is the lake speaking. A mirror is a non-living object, and a lake is a life-giving source of nature. There is a vast difference, but these two things are able to reflect things faithfully. That's what we see. So the first stanza, the very first line itself is intriguing. I am silver and exact. In the first place, we need to remember that a woman is reduced to an object, a mirror, but she praises herself that she is silver. Silver is considered a pure metal, an exact, very perfect. But on the other hand, she does not have any preconceptions. It may be a kind of an irony. A woman in the society, she is supposed to be very perfect. She is supposed to be the angel of the house. She has to be by the hearth, taking care of the children, or in the house, cooking for the husband. We come to know about Sylvia Plath's personal life that she was separated from her husband, Ted Hugh, and she was taking care of her children. And we all know that she committed suicide because of the excess of stress. You see, in a wonderful way, this particular poem gives an answer to very many questions. Why? Why Sylvia Plath? Her own personal life. We talk about her personal life because we need to remember that she is a confessional poet. So she uses the word I swallow everything. I don't like anybody. I don't hate anybody. I'm not being cruel. I'm just being truthful. But she calls herself a little God. A little God who can see everything. And in the second part of the same stanza, the wall is mentioned, the opposite wall. It is in pink color with speckles. The color itself is symbolic. We always associate pink with women. With speckles, it may be representing her heart, which is in pink color, but marks are there, wounds are there. People come and go between herself and her conscience, her inner self. Faces coming and going. It's like flickering. I don't care because I am alone and I need to take care of myself. That is on one hand. But on the other hand, she has herself. And she is quite confident about it. But during night times, the mirror will not be able to see the opposite wall. When there is darkness, when there are confusions, the conscience is lost. And that's exactly how and when she must have took her own life, unfortunately. And that is the first stanza. Let us get to the poetic devices. Mirror is personified as a woman here. I am silver and exact. Mirror is personified. And after several lines, in the last line we see faces coming and going, Synecdoche. So many people come and go. She doesn't know their name. Only the faces come and go. The color pink acts as a kind of a symbol. The color pink acts as a kind of a symbol. And then we have enjambment here. We have enjambment here. I have looked at it so long, I think it is part of my heart. There is no punctuation mark at the end of the line, and it runs to the next line. That's why it is called enjambment. We'll move to the second stanza. Now I am a lake. A woman bends, searching my reaches. A woman is coming. There is a parallel story that runs along with the story of this lake or the mirror, the woman, another woman. She comes, and we are taken to a time when women had to go out and fetch water and come back home. So when they go out and fetch water, they get their personal time, their me time. And there they may be thinking about so many things. And they are free to emote. They are free to vent out their anger and everything. And that's what she does here. In front of the lake, she cries. She uses a lot of gestures. And the mirror faithfully, the lake, which is also a mirror, faithfully imitates. We might take it in a very different way here. A feminist is trying to imitate the woman, and she tries to project the exact thing as a realist, as a feminist to the society. This is how a woman suffers. Agitation of hands. And then finally, we realize that she comes and goes. And this particular lake is very important for the woman because she cannot tell her sufferings to others in the society. Where you have candles at night, moon at night, they are liars because during night time, when you see the face of the woman, she is smiling, she is the angel of the house, they are liars. But the lake is not a liar. A feminist who tries to delve into the problems of other women and tries to give it to the society, they are not liars, and this lake is not a liar. Sylvia Plath is not a liar. She has drowned a young girl and an old woman. She comes and goes every single day. She looks like a terrible fish in that lake because she looks her own reality in that lake, the real face in that lake. Otherwise, she has to act in front of others. She has to wear masks in front of others. Okay, so this seems to be a wonderful depiction, and imagery is beautifully presented here. Imagery is beautifully presented here. So once again, we can say the lake is personified as a woman, as a person. A kind of empathy is created for a fellow woman who is also suffering. So there is an allusion made to the first stanza, somewhere here, in a very negative way, calling the moon and the candles liars. Okay, imitating faithfully, because in the first line itself, the mirror calls herself silver and exact. So the two stanzas are tightly connected. So simile is there at the end, like a terrible fish, like a terrible fish. We'll go to the paradoxes here. On one hand, we have positive connotations. On the other hand, we have the negative connotations. The life-giving lake, but the lifeless mirror. A little god, projection as a non-entity. In the first stanza itself, a mirror is nothing, it's just an object, but she dares to call herself God. Truthful, mirror is truthful, lake is truthful, but the candles and the moon, they are liars. tears and agitations, all kinds of emotions. But in the first stanza, she should not express herself. She should not say, I like this, I dislike that. No, an angel of the house, she is not supposed to say that. Importance of one another is present in the second stanza. Empathy, fellowship in suffering. In the first stanza, there is so much of self-sufficiency and a kind of narcissism. Why? Because the woman is alone. She is left to think about herself alone. So with this, we will finish. I hope you have understood. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.